Welcome to the Food is Medicine Summit and Expo podcast. I'm Patricia Thompson, aka Dr. T.
And I am Maya Acosta with plantt-based DFW. Welcome back to another episode of Food as Medicine podcast, and we are with Nature's Plate.
Yay. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm Patricia Thompson. This is
Maya Acosta.
And we're going to talk a little bit about Nature's Plate, and the owners, Annette and Marianne, are going to tell us a little bit about their background and how you got to where you are today. So, well, anyway.
We're really excited to be doing this.
Oh,
We're really excited about Food as Medicine.
Yeah.
So, awesome.
So I always find it interesting to see where people begin. And so I want to ask you a little bit about your childhood. So where did you all grow up?
So we were both born in Seattle, and then shortly after that we moved to New York and then to Philadelphia because my dad was finishing up his education and working on his doctorate, and then we eventually landed in Denton, Texas when we were 7 and 8 years old.
Wow.
So we moved around a lot, but that's where we ended up, and then we all ended up going to North Texas, and so we're a big Denton family.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we feel like we're pretty much from Texas, even though culturally, it maybe not quite. Our parents are both immigrants. Our father's Hungarian and our mother's Dutch, so we grew up with a very different take on things, probably, and a lot of different viewpoints. But we feel pretty much Texan at this point, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you've been here since then, it kind of rubs off on you. And but it's interesting to see the influence of both the West Coast and the East Coast.
Yeah,
because then you get a real good perspective about just the way people think and people act and social norms and all of that. So
and we don't still have family on the East Coast, but most of our family that's on this continent lives in Vancouver. So we still have a lot of family up there and have a lot of those influences.
Well, that's a nice reason to go to Vancouver.
It is. It's beautiful. It's been too long since we were there, but yeah, it's beautiful.
And so then you went to UNT, did you say?
Yes.
Oh, okay,
Yes,
that's great.
we both
That's
did.
my alma mater too.
Oh, awesome.
And my kids. So then I know you had careers separate before this, right?
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about what you did, and then Marianne, if you could share.
So pretty long careers before this, actually. Definitely raising kids and all of that too. But I was in business process outsourcing, that's a long term for basically managing and running outsourced call centers here in the U.S. In several different cities. And so there were a lot of operational focuses with that have really come into play here, but very different world for sure. Both of us were in the corporate world, and I think that business experience has been very good for us, but obviously this is a very different world, and we educated ourselves and learned a lot about not just cooking and commercial cooking, but also about nutrition and about food service and meal prep and how to put all of this together. So,
and you too?
So I was, my degree is in IT, information technology, and that's what I did for basically 25, almost 30 years. I worked as an application developer, and then I managed projects and application developers until 2016.
Wow.
And then I left to do this full time.
So I know that just while we were talking, you both shared with me that you had been vegan all along, and that you also started running different times of your life. So Marianne, tell me a little bit about when did you start running and what made you start running?
So I have always been interested in fitness. Like neither Annette nor I were athletic growing up, but I think as we got into like our late teens and 20s, it just kind of seemed like that's what you were supposed to be doing. So late 20s, I kind of found running, and it was something that you didn't have to be coordinated to do. Anybody can run. All you have to do is just have the mindset to, yes, I'm going to go and do this. And I loved that. So I think I was about 27 or 28 when I started seriously and got on a program where I first got to where I could run 3 miles without stopping, and then increased all the way up to I've run probably 15 half marathons.
Oh, wow.
And Annette, I think, started, it's a theme of our lives. If one of us does something, the other one follows not too far behind. So I think it was probably like 5 years later that you started running.
And so kind of the same thing. Running is really all about discipline and applying yourself to it. And the more you do it, the better you get. And yes, we had both been vegan for approximately 10 years before that. But, and we were not, and we were when we started running. But as I got into my 40s especially, and I was getting more serious about running, and more serious about my training, I also went whole food plant-based, which made a huge difference in my training and in my ability to recover and therefore train harder and run more. I was getting injured a lot before, even though I was eating relatively well compared to like the standard American diet, I was still eating a lot of refined grains and a lot of oil and a good amount of sugar. And when I went whole food plant-based, I think just the increase in the whole plants, the vegetables, the whole grains, and definitely a lot more beans, and just the anti-inflammatory effect of that, I was able to really get faster and train harder. And then I ran a couple marathons and actually qualified for the Boston Marathon, which had been a goal of mine for a really long time. And I'm not in that kind of shape right now. It takes a lot of intense training, definitely, and diet has a lot to do with that.
One of our first collaborations was when you guys screened Fiona Oakes' movie.
Yes,
And,
she's amazing.
After I saw that film, I felt like I understood you guys more. You want to tell us about that?
Yeah, so Fiona Oakes is an amazing person. You can look her up online and find out more about her, but she set all kinds of records for running, and she also just has a work ethic that is amazing. Like, she runs an animal sanctuary, and she is really fast and trains really hard, and has and you can just see how it's all based on her work ethic, and the amazing results that she's gotten from that are really something.
So tell us a little bit about Nature's Plate and how it came to be, and where you are right now.
Absolutely. Do you want to start that story?
Yeah. So Annette and I have been meal prepping. We didn't call it that because it's been like, I think we started this probably 20 years ago. We both had our full-time jobs. We both had kids. And so on Sundays, we would both cook, and then we would trade food with each other. And then we would have food for the whole week, and it wasn't always the same food. And there was a couple people in my office who did it with us at different times, but Annette and I always did it, and we did it for a really, really long time. And then actually my boss at work she said, I think if I could eat that way, if somebody would make that food for me, I would eat so much more healthy.
We all.
And she's like, but I don't want to cook. Will y'all just cook for me? And I said, no, I just had a baby. I don't want to cook for you. But I was telling Annette, and Annette's like, well, I'll try that. That sounds kind of fun. So
my kids were older, and it was an opportunity to help somebody who really needed it, so that was really our first taste of helping someone else through food and making an impact on someone else's life. And that's how it started. And then it grew from there over the next few years. I started doing it for a group of people in Marianne's office, and then we figured out just how to grow it from there. I learned a lot more about nutrition, and so did Marianne, and a lot more about commercial cooking. And how to scale it from there. And then we decided it was something we wanted to do full time. And I left my previous full-time position in 2014. Yes, at the end of 2014. And at that point, we knew we were going to do this. We were just building it up and getting everything ready. And then we opened this location, our first kitchen. Before that, we were cooking out of a shared commercial kitchen. We opened this kitchen at the end of 2015. And then we've been growing since then. So we do all whole food, plant-based meal prep, along with bakery items and smoothies and a variety of things depending on the time of year.
Love their brownies.
Brownies are awesome, and they don't have any added oil. They're all whole grain. So at this point, we offer the grab-and-go options out of the 3 stores, the one here in Lake Highlands, which is our original location, and then Plano and North Dallas at Preston and Forest. And weekly meal plans are a huge part of what we do. That's really what we started with, but now it's a big part of our business. Even though we do have the retail option, people really like to be able to plan ahead. I can get 10 meals or 5 meals every week and just come drop by and pick them up and know that I'm ready.
Tell us a little bit about your Fort Worth partnership.
Absolutely.
So there's a really cool grocery store that's opening in downtown Fort Worth. It's in the building that's called, I believe it's First on 7th, which is, it's a residential building, but the whole bottom floor of this apartment building is going to be this really cool grocery store. So it's kind of like Central Market, some prepared foods, but also just like a regular grocery store. And they are going to carry our meals in their refrigerators there. And then in addition to that, and this is really cool because it allows people in Fort Worth to actually subscribe to a meal plan, they will be a pickup spot for our meal plans as well. So people can get on a meal plan subscription, order every week, and pick their meals up there on Mondays.
That's so exciting.
Yes, yeah, we're really excited about
What
it.
are some of your popular items for the meal plans?
So definitely the barbecue plate, which is barbecue tofu, mashed potatoes, and broccoli. That has been a really popular item for quite a while. It's got a really good mix of flavors. All of our Tex-Mex is popular. We have 3 different kinds of enchiladas, plus a few varieties of tacos and tamale pie. Those are always big sellers. And actually, the classic lasagna, which we've had since well before this store opened and well before this kitchen existed, is still one of our top items too. And Veggie Mac, same thing. We've had it since the beginning, and
I like that one.
people still like that too.
So share a little bit about, oh, wait, you have more?
Well, I was just going to say that on the bakery side, the peanut butter and chocolate sandwich cookies have been a top item since the beginning too.
And the carrot cake cookies.
Those are really
and those
good
are
too.
kind of the two ends of the spectrum on our baked goods, because while I think probably, as I say, 85% of our baked goods are gluten-free and free of added oil, the peanut butter cookies and the frosted peanut butter bars do have a little bit of oil, and we make them with whole wheat pastry flour. Still lots of whole grains, minimal refined sugar, actually no refined sugar in those. But yeah, where the carrot cake cookies, no oil, tons of carrots, so many carrots in there, and lots of oats and all kinds of good stuff.
So I wanted for you to talk a little bit about the partnership between our upcoming Food is Medicine Summit and Expo that Nature's Plate is partnering with us. They're one of our sponsors and one of our exhibitors.
Well, we are so excited to be part of this, and so excited that you're doing it and making this happen. Dallas has not had this opportunity to date to bring together and have access to all of these leaders in the plant-based world, the scientific experts and the medical experts. Obviously, we have local people like Dr. Riz, but these like really big name, well-known people have been involved in the movement for a long time. It's going to be a really big opportunity for the Dallas community to hear from them, and we're excited to provide food for all of those people in that environment, and to participate. That we're excited about the fitness panel, all of it.
So Nature's Plate's going to be a moderator for our fitness panel. They're also going to be doing a food demo on day 1.
Yes.
And then they're going to be providing a delicious lunch for us on Saturday. So we're really excited about that.
Do we have an idea of what the lunch will look like?
We're going to talk about that today. It'll be something that obviously is convenient to get to a large group of people at the same time, but it'll be something that people can really appreciate and enjoy, and whole food plant-based, so we're excited.
The wonderful part is that people that haven't tried your food will finally get to try the deliciousness that you make.
Thank you.
We're hoping to expose you to a wide audience and get people to really understand what it is that you do and how delicious everything tastes.
Thank you. I mean, I do think that when people learn about the benefits of eating plant-based whole food, usually the missing piece for them in the beginning is, how do I do this? How do I make this happen? And that's really why we exist. We want to bridge that gap. And we hope that people also cook for themselves. We offer cooking classes, and we want people to learn about food and be able to do that. But it's not realistic that everyone who's new to this, and even people who aren't new to it, who have busy lives, can do that every day. So we want to make it easy to stay on track and not let those be reasons not to eat well.
And so I wanted for you to also share a little bit about, if you're watching this before the holidays, that Nature's Plate has some special plans for the holidays.
So every year we do a whole holiday menu. We do pumpkin pie, we do cheesecake. We also add different sides and entrees that work really well for Thanksgiving and or Christmas. And then this year we're going to add a gift basket, a gift box of our cookies that you can have sent anywhere that you want to have, well, anywhere within reason, anywhere that our delivery service will take it within the Metroplex. And so we're excited about that too.
Can you share your locations again and then your website for those people that are listening?
Sure, it's naturesplate.com. So, and
Very
we're
easy.
also on
Yeah.
Facebook and Instagram just as Nature's Plate. The locations are in Northeast Dallas or Lake Highlands. It's 10233 East Northwest Highway at Ferndale. North Dallas at Preston and Forest in the northwest corner of that intersection. And then in Plano, almost Frisco on Preston Road, almost at 121, and that is the southeast corner of that intersection.
Also, do you want to mention how you partner with other organizations and other events also, and maybe the future of this space that we're in now? Do you want to mention that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have done a lot. We really appreciate the organizations like Plant-Based DFW, Plant-Based Dallas, and just the people in this community here are working to get the message out about plant-based food. And we are always happy to provide food for, whether it's a movie screening or just an educational meeting or any venue where work is being done to really educate people and get the word out. So right now, this is actually the back of our Lake Highlands location where we're standing right now, and we do have a kitchen here, but we also have a lot of space where we're going to be hosting an open house on September 22nd, and then we are looking to do future events in this space as well.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know about the space, but it can hold about 100 people, right? So, and then also you cater. And you do lunch and learns as well?
Yes, thank you, Maya, for
Yeah.
remembering everything that we do.
Because there's so much
So
you do.
yeah, we just started doing catering where we actually go and not serve the food, but keep the food hot and make sure that it's available throughout the event. We've done a lot of box lunch catering for meetings and things like that. That works super well with our menu. But yeah, we're open to doing anything like that.
And so, well, thank you so much. It's been nice to get to know you a little bit more as well. And we're looking forward to having you guys at the Food as Medicine Summit and Expo.
In April.
Yeah,
Yes.
in April
Time's
24,
going-
25.
I know.
Yes.
Time's going by fast.
It
It'll
is,
be here
it
before
is.
we know it.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. You've been listening to the Food as Medicine Summit and Expo podcast.
Please subscribe to our channel for more updates and information and resources.